If you've got a team that needs to manage emails from the same address in Outlook, then you'll want to set up a shared mailbox that lets multiple people send and receive emails from one address without having to share passwords or log in and out of different accounts. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to add a shared mailbox in Outlook step by step so you can get your whole team working from the same inbox and make sure nothing slips through the cracks. Let's get into it. What is a shared mailbox? Alright, so before we get into the Outlook setup, let me quickly explain what a shared mailbox actually is in case you are not familiar. A shared mailbox basically lets multiple people send and receive emails from the same address. So think support@yourcompany.com or info@ or finance@. Essentially, just an inbox where a whole team needs access. The idea is that everyone on your team can see the incoming messages and respond without having to log into a separate account. It centralizes everything so stuff doesn't fall through the cracks. Customers get responses from one consistent email address. You don't have to share passwords or keep logging in and out. Some teams try to do this with Google Groups or distribution lists, or just having multiple people log into the same account, but that creates problems like not knowing who's already responded, duplicate replies going out to the same customer, and zero visibility into who's handling what. So a proper shared mailbox is usually the first step teams take when they are trying to get organized. Now, let me show you how to actually set this up. Step 1, how to create a shared mailbox. Alright, so let's get into the actual setup. I'm going to walk you through this step by step so you can follow along. Now, before you can add your shared mailbox to your Outlook, the mailbox itself needs to exist. So if your company doesn't already have one set up, someone with admin access to your Microsoft 365 account will need to create it first. Now let me show you how that works. Once you are logged into the Microsoft 365 Admin Center, look over on the left sidebar and find Teams and Groups. Click on that. Now you'll see a few options. Click on Shared Mailboxes. This shows you any shared mailboxes that already exist in your organization. To create a new one, click Add a Shared Mailbox. A form will then pop up asking for a couple of details. First is the name. This is the display name that people will see. So you'd put something like customer support or finance team or info, whatever makes sense for your team. Next is the email address. This is the actual address that people will send emails to. So something like support@yourcompany.com or whatever you want the team inbox to be called. Once you've filled those in, click add. So at this point, the shared inbox exists, but nobody can access it yet. You need to add the team members who should be able to see and respond to emails in this inbox. So click on the shared mailbox that you just created. You'll see some options appear. Look for where it says members and click edit. Now you can search for people in your organization. Type in the name of someone who needs access, click on them to add them, and repeat for everyone on the team who should have access to this mailbox. Once you've added everyone, click save. And that's the admin side done. The shared mailbox has been created and your team members have been given access. Step 2, adding the shared mailbox to Outlook. Now, everyone who was added needs to actually connect it to their own Outlook so it shows up in the sidebar. This is the part that you'll do from your regular Outlook, not the admin center. Open up Outlook and then click the 3 dots beside your email address on the panel on the left. From here, you'll see a window open up which prompts you to add a shared mailbox. So type in the name of the shared mailbox. This should match the name that was set up in the admin center. So whatever you called it earlier, like customer support or finance team. Then click continue. From here, it will check if the person has been given correct permissions to access the shared mailbox, which they should if you added everyone in the last step. And so once it's verified that you have the correct permissions, the shared mailbox is added to your account. You should see the shared mailbox sitting there underneath your regular inbox. You can expand it to see the inbox sent items, drafts, and other folders. Now you can see all of the emails coming into that shared address, and so can everyone else on your team who went through this same process. Step 3, sending an email from a shared inbox. One more thing to cover is when you are replying to emails or sending new ones from the shared mailbox, you want to make sure it's actually sending from the shared address and not your personal email. Otherwise, the customer or whoever you are emailing will see your personal address instead of the team inbox, which can get confusing. So when you open up a new email, look for the From field near the top. If you don't see it, you might need to click on Options and then Show From, or there might be a small drop-down arrow next to your email address. Click on the From field, and then you should be able to select the shared mailbox address instead of your personal one. Now, when you send this email, it goes out from the team inbox. And when the person replies, it comes back into the shared mailbox where everyone on the team can see it. And if you check the sent folder in your shared mailbox, you'll see the email sitting there so your teammates know it's been handled. And that's it. Your shared mailbox is set up and ready to use. The problem with shared mailboxes. But to be honest, while shared mailboxes in Outlook technically work, most teams pretty quickly run into some serious problems with them, and these problems get worse as your team grows and your inbound volume increases. The biggest one is ownership. When an email comes in, nobody really knows who owns it. Is someone handling this? Did anyone respond? And what ends up happening if this email gets missed, or they get delayed because everyone assumes someone else is on it? Or you get duplicate responses where 2 people reply to the same customer. That's a bad look, and it has a bad effect on the trust that you've built with customers. Another problem is that you are a manager. You basically have no visibility into what's going on. There's no way to see who's handling what in real time. You can't track how long it takes your team to respond. You can't measure performance or spot trends. The only time you find out something slipped through the cracks is when an angry customer emails again asking why nobody got back to them. And by that point, the damage is already done. There's also very little automation. Every single email has to be manually sorted and assigned. Urgent stuff gets buried under a pile of less important messages. There's no way to automatically route a billing question to your billing person, and as your volume grows, that inbox just becomes completely unmanageable. So yeah, shared mailboxes are fine when you are small and dealing with low volume, but once things start scaling, they break down pretty fast. A better way to manage team emails. This is exactly why a lot of teams eventually move to a support platform for managing their shared communication. And one option that's built specifically for this is Hiver. Hiver is basically a help desk that works directly with your existing email and is designed to fix the common problems teams run into with shared mailboxes. It works with Outlook or Gmail and is completely provider agnostic, so you can bring your existing inbox into Hiver without changing how your team works. The main difference is that every conversation gets assigned to someone, so there's no confusion about who is handling what. You can see at a glance whether someone's been dealt with or if it's still waiting. And managers can actually see what's going on without having to ask for updates. You can set up rules to automatically route emails to the right person, so your team isn't manually sorting through everything. And there's built-in collaboration. So instead of forwarding emails back and forth, you can just leave internal notes right inside the conversation. It also gives you actual data on things like response times and resolution times, which you just don't get with a regular shared mailbox. If your team is still small and a shared mailbox does the job, that's totally fine. But if you are starting to feel the limitations, it's worth checking out. To get started for free, use the first link in the description. It might be time to try Hiver if you are tired of emails slipping through the cracks, duplicate responses, and zero visibility into what your team is actually doing. So again, click the link below to get started with Hiver. And if you want to see how you can create an AI chatbot to handle customer questions automatically, then watch this video next.